sketch and I'm explaining to people how they create characters, I'm like, comedy characters are not polite. Comedy characters are jerks. They are going to do something, it's going to get a reaction, and they're going to keep doing that thing. They're not nice people who are like, oh no, this guy doesn't like it when I poke him. I'm going to stop poking him now. Instead, they're like, let me poke you more times and more intense ways so that you get angrier and angrier or react in whatever specific way that I want you to, right? I'm going to push your buttons over and over. So whenever I teach sketch, it makes me think of the, like, don't be polite. I'm always like, this person's too nice. Do a new edit. Who's this person? I like them too much. Boo.
Yeah. Two people being amicable on stage sounds so boring. It's kind of...
Yeah, you could go to a bar and watch that, you know? Like, you could see that anywhere.
Yeah.
Bless you.
I really want to produce a show now where that's the goal.
Everyone's
being really polite. And try to, like, squeeze some humor out of that.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Get your work cut out for you there.
Yeah, just call it the nice guys.
Hey, I like family.
That's all right. You get the stage time for it. It's all good.
It's true.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
So did you guys, just to kind of even go farther back, did you guys really did y'all do theater in college and high school and stuff? Like, what even made y'all interested in getting into improv in the first place?
Yeah, I did theater in high school and then a little bit of college. To be honest, I was like, the college experience for me was just so dense with like things that weren't actually theater.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of just stopped studying it through like an educator and then just going into New York myself to kind of study it, because I figured, why not? If I'm gonna spend money on that, just go to New York. That's the place to be.
Yeah.
So I took a couple of acting classes in New York, and like really I liked it a lot, but I felt like there was a lot of preparation with productions, which is totally fine, but I wanted to kind of get to the meat of like what the fun and the sort of performing part of it is. So I think, I don't know what it was. I think it was actually before I graduated, somebody gave me a book about Second City, and I went up and took an intensive class up there in Toronto, and then was kind of hooked on that, and noticed that I could do stuff in New York City at any time I wanted, and that was the fun part of performing that I wanted to always do. The dramatic stuff's really great, but comedy is kind of like my safe zone. Like, I do it to, I guess, feel less awkward. So it all felt really safe to me, and that's kind of how that started with me, at least. I think, John, you studied saxophone, right?
Yeah, I went to school for music.
Oh, I play sax.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I went to school for music, and then after I graduated, I haven't touched it since. So I'm going on a dozen years. Years recovering saxophone player.
I was going to say, yeah, I picked mine up after about 12 or 13 years of not messing with it not too long ago. And I got to tell you, man, the saxophone, ripe with comedic potential.
So good for comedy.
I was going to say, like, that and the tuba are two instruments that I think that just have a lot of different avenues you can take it down to be just silly. I've actually got paid for doing stupid things with it recently.
Well, I mean, give us more specifics on that. I got to figure out how to get paid for that. What did you do?
Okay. So this is weird. Okay. There's this guy at our theater at the New Movement who is a really good friend, and his friend was getting married. And he put out this posting for somebody that knew how to play saxophone, because his friend getting married was a huge fan of Sergio Flores, the sexy sax man on YouTube. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that viral video from like maybe 6 or 7 years.
We're aware.
Sergio Mendes.
Sergio Flores.
I thought his name was Mendes. Oh, just kidding.
No, I had to look it up, believe me. Because I had So it was basically... They had tried to get this guy to show up for her bachelorette party, but it was going to take like $2,000 to fly him out and put him up or whatever. So they were like, "Hey, anybody want to do this for like $200?" So basically, what it was is 3 different times during the day of her like bachelorette party, I would just show up dressed up like Sergio Flores playing Careless Whisper. The first time was at the Airbnb after she got there. The second time was this outside, it was like an outside bar patio kind of thing. I just kind of came up walking, and then the third time was another outside patio bar. And, just shirtless, black wig. I'd spent a week growing a terrible mustache.
Amazing mustache.
How was that received by other people?
Okay, so that was my chief concern. Concern was
I love
this
it.
is gonna be really annoying for everybody except this one person. But the east side of Austin, Texas, is where all of the like hipster millennials hang out. So just very non-confrontational group of people. Because the second and third times that we're in public. It was one of those things where people would just come up and, like, while I'm playing, stand beside me and have their friends take pictures beside me and, like clap. One guy tried to chase me to ask me the name of the song because he couldn't remember what it was. He was chasing me. I was like, okay, here it is. Here's where the shit hits the fan. And the guy was
wait, hold on. He was chasing. Were you running away from him?
So the thing is to keep up the mystery and to keep the illusion up that maybe I am Sergio Flores. I would enter from one side and just continue walking and sort of dancing and thrusting my hips, but then there was never a point where I really stopped. I would just sort of do a circle or a pass by playing Careless Whisper, which my marching band experience sort of helped me with. But yeah, right. So I would never linger for very long, just so it could just be these sort of guerrilla kind of attacks of Careless Whisper, and
guerrilla.
The second time, and also I'm this is something I've never done before, so I'm kind of just anxious. So it's the third time I really dwelled on it. I got up on a table and I was humping the air and just being super gross. But yeah, the second time it was just I kept a good marching tempo and just went around the outskirts of this patio thing, and this guy chased after me, which I couldn't tell because I was still playing Careless Whisper until I was until I was way out of sight. And this guy was chasing after me. I was like, oh shit, what's going on? And he was just like, hey, I know George Michaels did that song, but what was it called again? I was just like, oh yeah, Careless Whisper. He's like, thanks, and then he just walked away and went back to his group of friends at this bar. He just didn't have Shazam on him or
I was gonna say he wouldn't Google it.
Yeah.
He refused to Google it.
But yeah,
I like to think that after that guy figured out what song it was, there's some actionable item for him, other than buying it, you know what I mean? I like to think that you solved a gigantic mystery in this guy's life that really set him straight.
And then he finally had
he stopped chasing people to ask them for things.
he finally could have his 14th puberty.
Yeah.
But
it's actually one of my favorites for sure.
Yeah, no, it's the gold puberty.
Right.
So,
yeah, 13's rough, 14's great,
yeah.
15 sucks. It's up and down.
Yeah. No, it's definitely not looking forward to my first score of puberties. Once you get you gotta knock out the score.
How many is a score?
20.
That's stuff that I really like, though. Aside not just the puberty, but the doing stuff in public. If you could affect somebody's day in a way that is I guess a little bit strange and out of the ordinary, I think
surprise and delight.
Exactly, that's the way to do it. I'm really notorious for just looking in people's cars when they're driving and just smiling at them.
Yeah.
Because it's just because you think it's a safe space and everybody treats it like it's a safe space, and then when you invade that space, they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So I think there's something in that. There's a magic in that I think comedy wise should just thrive on. I think you should always from day to day just mess with people just because.
Yeah.
I don't know.
See, I've always,
and not a malicious way, just in a very fun kind of way. I don't know.
Yeah. See, that was the thing is I've always what they would do in Jackass or in Tom Green, where they would literally just fuck with people and mess up. Yeah. People just trying to get to work, and they're just, I don't know, just doing shit to either gross them out or just completely freak them out. That stuff always kind of bothered me, at least in the sense of I don't need to. Nobody needs to come at the expense of my comedy, and I was kind of thinking that's how this was going to play out. But then I just realized, like, literally people were like, "Oh my God, is that Sergio Flores?" Like, people knew this dude's name. Like I ended up, it was like I didn't know his name until I was asked to do this gig, and then I was just like, "Is he really still part of the zeitgeist on that level?" Where like people are like, "Holy shit!" And yeah, there was just, I mean, it was one of those things. The third time I was done, literally all the people around just kind of applauded. And when I went and changed and came back just to like introduce myself to this girl for the first time. And yeah, there's all these people who just came up and they're like, "Man, you really did a great job. I really, like, blah, blah, blah." It was like, man, Austin is just full of really easygoing people. I don't know, just the idea that I did not bother anybody doing this, it was absurd to me. Because, yeah, I was just thinking of like a place like New York or something, I would have had just a full can of soup tossed in my head.
Yeah,
or
in
something,
Boston, they would have just punched you outright first time. Like, first beat, done.
I love that idea though, like that surprise and delight kind of aspect of stuff. Like I always heard that like Andrew WK, when he meets people, he hands them a lollipop. Like that's this. I don't know if that's true, but it's this urban legend
about.
Man,
Andrew I met him. He didn't give me a lollipop. That bums me out.
Oh wait, well thanks for fucking up my Christmas. But like that idea, though, you know what I mean?
There's a
like,
lot of people that would expect it.
Like he's a pediatrician or something, yeah.
Right. But like, could you imagine like just meeting somebody and like, here's a lolly? Like it's so dumb. It doesn't cost you much, and it like if our comedy can do that for like somebody's night or week or day, like that's I don't know. That's the beautiful part of this art form, I think.
See, that's my favorite part about it, and it sounds way too altruistic, but honestly, I just love like literally ripping a laugh out of people. Like the more you don't want to laugh, and if I can get you to, the more satisfied and the more like complete I feel. And just because I feel like the ability to make people laugh is just something everybody should sort of nurture, because people, I mean, we live in tumultuous times, guys. Everybody's having different puberties all over the place, and Sasquatch is dead now, and it's like people need a reason to laugh and smile, even more so than it's not as bad as it has been, but you know what I'm saying.
Hey Wendell, real quick, is Sasquatch and Bigfoot the same thing? I need your opinion on this.
Ooh. Okay.
Wow.
So I think they belong to the same genus.
Yeah.
Like Yeti?
Like yeah. See, I would say yeah. See, Yeti are like cold mountain Sasquatch. Yeah, they're like they're the northern brethren of like the standard North American Bigfoot and Sasquatch. I feel like
Sasquatch is the name of the like kind of animal, and Bigfoot's one of them.
Okay, so Bigfoot is the East Coast Yeti.
Okay.
Sasquatch is like up in like Washington State, I would say.
Yeah.
Or Canada. And then the Yeti, that's like Himalayas. That's almost like that's the original one, dating all the way back to like Pangea. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm with Amy on this one. I always thought that Bigfoot was like Hulk Hogan. You know what I mean? Like it's just one Sasquatch who is Bigfoot. Just like there's one human who is Hulk Hogan.
I see. Okay. So yeah, like sort of like if like Nessie is one specific kind of plesiosaur. Yeah. Well, I mean,
plesiosaur, is that the name of the Loch Ness monster?
I got a big book of cryptozoology at the house, you guys. Yeah, this is something I care about.
Oh my god!
You know what? I feel like if it's in a cryptozoology book, though, that's bullshit, right? We gotta keep cryptozoology. We gotta keep it independent. We gotta keep it. You gotta keep that spirit alive.
Yeah. I think the second you put pen to paper on this, a little bit of the magic goes out of it. Like I think the idea.
Said the improvisers who don't like to write things down.
I was like, do you guys watch the Alien show? What is it?
Ancient Aliens?
Ancient Aliens?
Oh, yeah.
I have an improv show based on that show.
Man.
Matt Candio and I do a show called Aliens That Are Ancient.
Oh my
where we
God.
both play heightened versions of Georgios Tsoukalos.
Love him.
It is we're arguably aliens ourselves, but we've never actually specified it. We ask we ask for something that's unexplained, and then we, through scene work, we explore it, and hopefully by the end we've come to some sort of resolution.
Wow.
I might steal that. That's great.
Please do.
That's
Please